A very good evening, dear participants, and we are soon going to begin the session. So I welcome you all. Ma'am, can we begin with the session? Or we need to wait some time?
Hello, Shanur, and hello, everyone. I believe a few more minutes till everybody is joining, and then we can start.
Right, ma'am.
We are also live through YouTube. And I would request Jamila to please reinforce this on all AMB so that everybody knows and can join through YouTube.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can start with our session now.
A very good evening to all the participants who have joined in. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Shahnur Anis, and I'm the anchor for today's workshop. So before beginning with our workshop, I would like to give a brief introduction to Mahdi Bagh Youth Club and, of course, our resource person, Ms. Arifa Banglowal. Mahdi Bagh Youth Club is a skill development program by Mahdi Bagh Youth Club, and today we are here for a session on decision making. Mahdi Bagh Youth Club is an organization of talented and driven people with the sole aim of giving back to the society. We have grown from Nagpur and reached out to Vishakapatnam, Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore, Ujjain, and Indore. We also have international branches in America, England, U.A.E, Singapore, and Australia. Our mission is to conserve and promote art and culture, to work for the social well being of all communities around us, to organize events, art shows, and philanthropic activities on a large scale for the purpose of creating awareness and supporting social causes, to build a strong foundation for the youth so as to represent India to the world. Our session expert is Mrs. Arifa Banglowala. She is the founder and promoter of Talk a Book and an expert soft skill and entrepreneurship committee of MBYC. She is heading this committee of skills and entrepreneurship, which is a committee of MBYC. Ms. Arifa has her master's degree in business administration and English literature. She holds a diploma in public relations. Accolades have naturally flown in, and her research papers on soft skills and attitude training have been widely accepted by leading universities. She has also been richly awarded in her teaching and training career and has served as a resource person for workshops by RGPV. Now I hand over the session to Ms. Arifa to begin the much awaited workshop.
Thank you so much, Shanur, for these kind words. And of course, a very, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to a workshop on decision making. But before I go ahead with the workshop, I would take this opportunity to say that I'm privileged to be a part of Mahdi Bagh Youth Club, a club which is working towards the betterment of the society through various programs, not only skill development, but also philanthropy, through which we are trying to make this world a better place. But of course, in today's world, it is very necessary that we keep building our skills. And therefore, this session can be considered as a continuation of the previous session, which was on an introduction to entrepreneurship, a skill which has been promoted by the Indian government and which has been a very, very, very natural thing for children in the West. So we are also promoting this to see to it that even the youth of India, why only the youth? I would say each one of us at any age, look at the person who started KFC. He started it at when he was 70. So we all can do it. And this has a lot of opportunity. Well, so our decision-making workshop will be considered to be a continuation of the same. But to all those who have joined us this time for the first time, I would say that keep joining us, because we are going to have many such skill development programs where you will be getting a lot of inputs. And I'm sure even in today's session, you will have quite a few takeaways. To begin the session, I would just say that as we are calling this a workshop, I want it to be very, very interactive. So you're open for all your comments, all your answers, all your conversations on the chat, as well as we are live on YouTube. So I will be joining these people on YouTube as well and taking their chats along with the people who have joined us on YouTube. And in today's session, we will be discussing a technique of decision making, which has been given by a very, very well-known psychologist, physician, and author. I will come to that very soon. But along with that, along with talking about him and his technique, I have two great videos of another two very, very well-known people. So I'm really excited for the workshop, and I'm sure all of you are. Let me quickly share my screen with all of you. I'm sure you all are able to see my screen. Yes, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. And as we call it, critical thinking for decision making. Critical thinking, which means you have to have in-depth thinking before you make decisions. So my first question to all of you will be that what is that one thing that troubles us the most when we are taking decisions? When we are trying to decide upon something, especially when it is very crucial, it is a very important decision of our life. What is that one thing that bothers us the most? Okay, so I have opened my chat and I want everyone to quickly type in their answers to what they think would be that one thing that bothers us the most. What people say, great Archana, yes, of course. Log kya kahenge? Will it be the right one? Good. Neha, I'm going to come up to that wonderful answer of yours. Is it right? Shanur, again, this is something I will be coming up to. Anything else? Anything else that you think will be? Okay, when I'm speaking, listen to me very carefully. I'm speaking that word again and again. So what do you think will be that one thing that is going to bother us the most when we are taking decisions?
Failure.
Failure. Oh, yes. We are really worried about we may fail, right? Okay, anything else? Fear of taking risks, says Dilip. Yes. And failure, yes, fear of taking risks. So if we have to make a decision, we often think how risky it is. We often think, right? And I'm saying the word again and again. Who can pick that out? Oh, yes, it is going to be a boon, of course. Repercussions, yes, the results, the risks, the failures. But I'm saying that word again and again. I think you must be now able to figure that out.
Overthinking.
Who was that?
It's me, Shubhangi.
Shubhangi, wow. I was waiting for that word to come up. Yes, it is the thoughts and thinking. That is what I'm looking for, the word I'm looking for, and I was eagerly waiting for. As my mentor very rightly says, ise kubulwa na kehte hain. So something like that has happened. Yes, I was waiting for this word, because if you look into the depth of decision making, what bothers us the most are the thoughts that are coming to us from all the directions. And here we come to a very amazing fact. We say that the fastest traveling entity in the world from which we compare other things is light, right? The next, or I would say faster than light, is our thoughts. So our thoughts travel faster than light. And if with that speed, we are bombarded with thoughts on a particular decision that we are supposed to make, our mind is completely confused, and we are almost in a state which I would say, is this to do or not to do? This has been a question from times immemorial. So we have always been, in this dilemma. Now, this word comes up in a dilemma, whether we should do it or we should not. And then we start thinking we may fail, or how risky it is, or he was telling me I should do it. He was telling me I shouldn't do it. And there are variety of thoughts that are coming to us. In this whole lot of bombardment of thoughts, we are absolutely confused. And that is what today we are here to think about and resolve. Because I'm going to give you a technique given by that great man. I'm going to come up to him and we will discuss that technique. And I'm sure after this workshop, you will get a technique to come up to better decisions or good decisions. But before I move on to that, I have a wonderful video, which is going to take us to another question, that why is decision making so important? Why is it so important? Are you ready for the video, all of you? Yes, let us have a look. So yes, Jeff Bezos is buying everything else. Yes, spreading his business from one place to another, moving into various sectors. But do you think that all these acquisitions or all these, taking over the companies happens at a click of a button or click of a finger? Do you really think it happens so? Well, logically, I'm sure you would answer no. So this process takes meticulous planning, meticulous thinking, deliberate planning of whether we should buy this company, what are the risks involved, shouldn't I fail, and whatever doubts you had. So when you are supposed to take such tough decisions for your company where millions of dollars are involved, or for that matter, when you are supposed to take decisions for your career, for which course you should go in for purchasing a car or a house, or even a very trivial thing like giving pocket money to your kids. We are going to come up with that too. But even for all these things, the technique that we are going to talk about is very, very helpful and has been used by corporate houses around the world. Now, before I go to the next slide, I would just like to say that our thoughts are somewhat in this manner. So what you are supposed to do, I'm giving you an activity. These are a few numbers. I just want you to add them as quickly as possible. A very simple arithmetic. I just want you to add all these numbers very quickly. Who is giving me the answer? Tick, tick 1, tick, tick 2, tick, tick 3, tick, tick 4, tick, tick 5. A bit difficult, isn't it? Let me make it easier for you. Now, will this calculation be more easy? Of course it would be. What have I done? I've done nothing. I've merely put them in order. I've put them in a sequence which makes the task easier. The technique that we are going to take up today of decision making is nothing else but to make the process of thinking easier, the process of decision making easier. And here we come to this great man, Dr. Edward de Bono. Dr. Edward de Bono, he was a physician, a psychologist, an author, and a professor too, and teaching in most well-known universities like Oxford, Harvard. And let me tell you that he was a man who's called the father of lateral thinking. And his life's study has been on thinking. And he came up with the idea that, like similar to other skills, like communication is a skill, like riding a bicycle is a skill, like managing people is a skill, like leadership is a skill. Similarly, thinking is a skill. So what is a skill? What are skills? And I'm waiting for your chats. Okay, so what are skills? Answer. What do you think skills are? If Edward de Bono says that thinking is a skill, let us first understand what are skills. What are skills? Cooking is a skill, okay? Shahnur says abilities. Shahnur, I've always been so much, excited with your answer always. Yes, that is abilities. It is teaching. Harish says it is a teaching, okay? Ability to do things perfectly, Alka says. Alka, that is a wonderful answer, I would say. That is a wonderful answer. Of course, skills are abilities. Can we add something to that? Now, see, we have half the sentence done. Skills are abilities which, can we complete the sentence? Skills are abilities which, anyone on YouTube would like to answer? Yes, Priya, you can go ahead typing in the chat box. With right thinking. Okay, Dilip says with right thinking. Okay. Positive thinking. Skills are abilities with positive thinking. I believe positive thinking is a skill in itself, which can be useful to make our lifestyle easy. Okay, Megha, that is a good answer. That is a good answer. Okay, so let me complete the sentence. Ideally, skills are those abilities which you can learn, which you can polish over time, which you can develop over time. See, humans are born with few things that are in our genes, in our hereditary. We cannot do much about it. But all the other things which we can learn are our skills. So for that matter, we can say that riding a bicycle is a skill, communication is a skill, leadership is a skill, and similarly, thinking is a skill. So we can develop it, we can hone it, we can practice it and perfect it. And this is one tool of making our thinking better, streamlined. Now, this is the word I would like to use here, streamlined thinking. That is what Edward de Bono always talks about, because when it comes to decision making, we are bombarded with thoughts. Somebody said something, we read something, we saw something, somebody said good about it, somebody said bad about it, and we are bombarded with all kinds of thoughts, and we are ultimately boggled or confused. So how to get out of this? This is a wonderful tool. Let us go ahead and see what it is. So here we go. We are going to talk about 6 thinking hacks today. Edward de Bono said, let us devise this technique of thinking hacks. So how does these thinking hacks work? Before we go to all these various thinking hacks, I will share a case with all of you. Let us see that case. Let us see a few more scenarios. And then when we are discussing these hacks, we will try to take the example of this case and, put that hat on this situation. So please let us read this case. The case says, Sam works in a family business. Okay, Sam works in his family business. Their existing range of products are doing well, but his enterprising nature was asking for more. There was a lot of disparity between his dreams and the way current setup was working. The business growth was getting stagnant and everyone had very ambiguous idea about the future. And then he found a great opportunity in the market. What should he do? So Sam has taken over his family business and he's working there. The portfolio is doing good, but Sam is vivacious. He's a youngster and he wants to do something different. And all of a sudden, he comes across an opportunity. But now comes to do or not to do. So whether he should take up that opportunity or he should leave it, how much risk is involved in that? Would he fail in this effort? Many thoughts. Let us see a few more scenarios. Now, these scenarios I've taken from our day-to-day life. I have already talked about it. Let's see it once again. Buying a new car, for most of us, this may be a once in a lifetime kind of a decision. Purchasing a house, once again, choosing a career. Yes, our lifetime depends on that. And something very small as giving pocket money to our kids and many more such decisions. See, we are taking conscious and subconscious or unconscious decisions throughout our day. Some decisions are in our routine, like what should we wear while going to college or to our workplace, or what should we cook today? These are very routine decisions that we take, and they are simpler to take. But when it comes to things which are going to involve our future, which are going to affect our future, it is very important that we put in a little more effort of thinking, right? So now, considering all these scenarios, we are moving on to these hats, and we will be applying those hats on these scenarios, and we will see how it works. But along with that, first of all, let me ask everyone, each one of you is with me. Are you alive? Because now the show is going to start. So are you all alive and rocking, and are you all with me? Just give a thumbs up very quickly so that I know each one of you is with me. Yes, people, are you alive? I haven't seen any thumbs ups as of now. Okay, yes, yes. Anyone else? Yash, thank you so much. Just stay with me. All right, quite a few of you. Good, good, good. Because it's important to stay alive. Well, I'm taking this workshop on purpose in English because we have people joining us from all over the world. Yes, when I say all over the world, we have a person joining us from Africa. We have a few people joining us from the US, UK. So I had to keep this in English. But for a while, I'm going to take this opportunity to speak something in Urdu. A very wonderful line given by Wasim Barelvi. He says, "Usulon pe jahan aach aaye takrana zaruri hai," though the reference is a bit different, but the second line applies a lot, that jo zinda ho to zinda nazar aana zaruri hai. Okay, so stay alive, all of you, stay rocking, because now is the time when you are going to participate, right? You are going to do this. Along with these situations, I want one more thing from all of you, and that is, think of a situation when you were in a dilemma of whether you should do it or not. A major decision that you might have just taken on your instinct, or a major decision that is still pending because you are unable to figure out what to do. I want you to think about that also when we move on with our hats. Now, when I'm moving on with my hats, another request to all of you is that we will be wearing each hat at a time and taking it off. So when we are wearing one hat, you're only allowed to think about that hat or what that hat says, nothing else. Fine. So the first hat is the red hat. Beautiful hat, just wear that. Red hat, which is the intuitive hat, the hat from the heart, right? Why is it called the hat of the heart or hat from the heart for the heart? Is that when you're wearing this hat, you will merely think about your hunches, about the intuition that you have, the first thought that crosses your mind. Like you want to purchase a car and you see a BMW going in front of you and you say, oh, I want to purchase this. Yes, you're going around somewhere and you look at a house and you say, oh, this can be something I want to buy, right? In case of Sam, who is looking out for this new opportunity, of course, his hunch as an entrepreneur would say that I want to start my own business. Okay, so when we are wearing this red hat, we are merely thinking about our hunches. There is no logical thinking involved in this. Absolutely no logical thinking involved. All right, one more thing. If you are sitting in your house or your office space, or you can take a few notes, just take up a pen and a paper and write this down, because later on when you wish to take some decisions and you want to apply all these hats, you should know which hat gives you what direction to think about. So you can just note down. Fine. So red hat is the intuitive hat. What your heart says. What is the first hunch which is coming by looking at an object or by listening to somebody, and you say, okay, this is what I want to do, right? So that is the red hat. We are moving on to the next hat. So we are going to take off the red hat and we are going to put on the white hat. Wow. Now, that is another good hat which says informative, the factual hat. This hat tells us
Ma'am, can you move to the previous slide? I missed to write.
Okay. Shubhangi, no issues. I'm going to come to the summary once again. You can note it down there. Okay. So we'll move on right now. I'm going to take this up once again. No problem. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. So the white hat is the informative hat. Now, when we are wearing the white hat, we are merely going to take down the facts, note down the facts, all the relevant fact. Now, here, relevant is very important because we should keep a check that we should not drift away from what we actually want, right? So all the facts that are necessary for our decision to be made, and simply dry facts, no other emotions are involved. Okay, saying that, let me consider the decision of buying a BMW. Okay, so I want to buy that BMW. Now, what are the facts? What is the cost, right? Is a loan available or an EMI available? Correct.
What will be the EMI?
Sorry?
What will be the EMI?
Yes, what will be the EMI, right? The numbers that you will have to note down. Do we have proper workshops and outlets in our city? Is the color which I liked available right now? What else? In fact, if I have to buy a car, the delivery time, very good, well done.
Service centers.
The service centers, another wonderful answer. Others, please, you can unmute and speak. Just the thing is that once you've answered, mute yourself. Anything else that we are missing out? Okay, tell me, my cousins have a BMW. Will that be a fact relevant enough to make a decision?
No.
Even I don't think so.
Like no, reviews do count about anything. You do take reviews. Of course, you do take reviews. But when it comes to facts, I don't think that is a relevant information. The relevant information will be related to the BMW car. Okay. For that matter, career. Okay. Suppose my hunch says, I want to do hotel management. What will be the dry facts I will take out? Come on. Speak up, people. What will be the dry facts we will take out when we are thinking about a career in hotel management? What will be the dry facts we'll collect? The information that we'll collect.
Which colleges are suitable?
Okay, colleges available.
City.
Duration and fees.
Duration and fees, very important. Okay. The career opportunities. Sorry?
Location of the facility.
I didn't get your voice. Please repeat it once again.
Location of the hotel facility.
Okay, the possibility of career, that is what you're trying to say, Collins?
The location.
The location. Okay, okay. The location. All right, the location.
Stability of faculties.
The faculties in the college. All right, that will be a good information to collect. Anything else? Do we have a facility of educational
Surroundings. The place we are going.
Surroundings.
How much I will earn?
How much will you earn after doing this? Okay, fair enough. So
Placements.
Career opportunities, we can say placements, we can say yes, we can say placements. Very good, very good. In case of Sam, who wishes to start his own business, he has seen an opportunity in the market and he wishes to start that. Its market value, the business he wishes to start with, the market value of that, the location
he's going to keep within his business.
The products he is going to keep in his
thinking of selling, or he's going to continue.
Of course, the portfolio that he's going to make. Good, very good. So I believe the point is put across and everybody has understood what the white hat does. So when we are wearing the white hat, nothing else, just the facts. Okay, so we are going to take out the pure facts. The relevant information is very important. Now we are going to take off the white hat. And are you ready for the next hat? Oh my God, that is the sunshine hat, the optimist's hat. It is the constructive hat. As we can see from the words above, we are now, while we are wearing this hat, we are only and only going to think about the positives. Only that if I start this business, if I buy this car, if I buy this house, if I give my kid his pocket money, what are the positives in this? Nothing else but the positives. No information and no other thoughts, only the positives. So as I said, if I have to give my kid pocket money and I have to take out the positives, that can be that the kids will learn money management. What else? The kids will become more confident and independent. They will learn how to spend frugally, right? Anything else? In the positives of whether we should give pocket money to our kids or not. Anything else?
To buy only useful things.
Oh, buying only useful things. Okay, they will buy only useful things because they know that they have this much money with them, so they will be more decisive in, or they will plan their expenditure. Very good.
They learn how to save money.
They will learn how to save money. Very good. Megha says that
when they have money on them, they wouldn't feel inferior among their colleagues.
When they have money with them, they will not show.
They won't feel inferior among their colleagues.
Collins, I believe there is a bit of a problem in communication when you are unmuting. If you could type in your chat box, that'll be great. I'll be able to read it and understand it better. They will learn the value of money. Of course they will, Neha. Earnings, Yash says, yes.
Kids will feel privileged.
They will feel privileged. When they have money, Collins says on them, they will feel confident among their peers. Of course, they will build a lot of confidence. Yes, that can be a good positive point. Okay, if I take a BMW, what would be the positives? Only the positives.
Happiness.
Happiness. Okay, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Okay, okay. Why not? Anything else?
raise the status in front of others.
Okay, feel proud. It will be a status symbol. It is a car which is well built, and therefore it will be, it will give me quite a few years of its service. It may be good with its mileage. The color that I want is available, right? So many things we can pull out. But here, let me also tell you that as humans, we are misers in pulling out the positives. We are very good at looking at the negative side of it. So Edward de Bono tells us that we should be extra cautious when we are wearing the yellow hat to see to it that all the relevant positive points are taken out and we do not miss out on anything. We do not lose out on any of the positive points, right? So let us take off the yellow hat, and I'm sure along with what the examples I'm taking, you are also having that process of analyzing the decisions you are making in your life. Now, we are going to wear another hat, and that would be, the black hat, which is the cautious hat, the judge's hat. It is said in logical negative. It is also called the devil's advocate. So as the color of the hat says, here we will be assessing the risks. We will be talking about where things might go wrong or why something may not work. Like if I purchase this house, what are the drawbacks? If I purchase BMW, what are the drawbacks? If I start my own business, in case of Sam, what are the drawbacks? If I give my kids pocket money, what are the drawbacks? Why this idea won't work? Once again, Edward de Bono says that this is one of the most, or we can say the most important hat, because this saves us from or gives us an opportunity to see all the possibilities of failure, which you people said earlier on. Failure, why this decision might go ahead and fail. So we are going to list out all those things. But once again, he tells us to be very cautious, because now there are high possibilities that we can drift into taking out irrelevant data. Like, in my other sessions, I often take this up as an example as well, that you are going to marry and you have to choose your bride or bridegroom, whoever. And in that case, when you start thinking about the negatives, you go on to the great grandfather, or maybe somebody related to the great grandfather who might be this or who might be that. See, all those things are very irrelevant. So stick to the point, see to it that you take out the relevant data, things where this won't work. Now, BMW, it's very costly. Oh my God, I won't be able to afford it. The after sales service, the reviews are not very good. Okay, so that can, see, this is only hypothetical. Okay, I don't know anything about it, but I'm just giving you an example. So that may be one reason, or I am not getting the color I want. Now, all these are the drawbacks or the negatives of why I shouldn't do this particular task. In case of Sam, why shouldn't he start a new business? He already has a business, so he can just expand that. There'll be a hell lot of an investment in this, and he could be in a crunch of money. The government policies could come in the way and lead to failure. The location of the shop which he's searching, he's not getting that. So that can affect the progress of the business. All these are the negatives which we should consider while we are wearing the black hat and nothing else. Okay, we are just thinking about the negatives, but we have to be very cautious to stick to the relevant negatives and not drift into unnecessary negative things. Like, there's a very famous story which goes that a professor came into the classroom and he handed out a plain paper to the students and told them to draw a dot. And then he asked them, what do you see? And they said, we see the black dot. And he said, I've given you a big A4 size paper, and you cannot see the white portion in it. You just see the black dot. So this is how our mentality works. So be very cautious when you're wearing the black hat. Okay, so I'm sure I've put the things across till now. All these hats, very clear. Red hat, intuitive, hunches. White hat, information and pure information, right? Only the facts, nothing else, no emotions attached. Very, very objectively, we'll only write down the dry facts. Next, the yellow hat, which says that pull out all the positives, why you should do this, why this can be a very good opportunity, why you should go into hotel management or whatever career you're planning to. So all the positives. And then we came up to the fourth one, and that is the black hat, which is the cautious hat, which is the logical negative or the devil's advocate. Now we are going to take off this hat, and it's time to move on to our fifth hat. That is the green hat, the creative hat, right? Here we are going to explore a whole lot of creativity. Edward de Bono says that the one thing which we lose while we are making decisions is being creative. We have so many thoughts coming to us that creativity goes into a corner. The thought of creativity goes into a corner. So he's giving us an opportunity to now wear this hat and be creative. So explore a range of new ideas and alternatives, possibilities, possible ways with new concepts. Okay, now it's time for all of you to put in your chats and even unmute yourselves and speak. So considering the case of Sam, he wishes to start a new business. He already has an old, a running business with a few portfolios which are running well. What creatively can we give him a suggestion? A suggestion which is based on creativity, which is based on a new idea that can go hand in hand, something that we can suggest him. Or we want to do hotel management, what can be something that is creative? Your father is saying, no, you should go into a proper management course for a better career. So what can be the creativity we can apply there? Or giving our kids pocket money, what can be the creativity we can apply there? Or BMW, oh, I'm going to give you one there, wonderful point over there of buying a BMW. So we'll come up to that. But till then, your creative suggestions on these examples that we are talking about. Yes, I'm waiting for all of you. Good road trips can be a creative idea to buy a BMW. Think a little more. Scratch your brains, people, because we are creative beings. We are humans. That is what makes us different from animals. With pocket money, he will buy a gift someday. Of course, he will. Yes, that's a very good, good thought. With pocket money, we can do something like this, that we can tell them that if you save a particular amount of money every month, you are going to earn some credit points, and you can encash all these credit points at the end of the year. Wow. Now we are giving the child an opportunity to think and an opportunity to actually be creative on this. One can engage in a livestock production to feed the hotel. Oh, that is a very, very good thought, Colin. Wonderful creative idea. Oh, of course, get a Toyota, use for 10 years, save and then buy a higher and BMW. That okay, Zainul, that is a real nice thought on a creative thought. Yes, of course. Shying away from BMW, isn't that, Zainul? Okay, anyone else? Okay, let me give you a thought. There's a trend nowadays. You buy the BMW on a loan, and you rent it out during the wedding seasons. Okay, people really like driving that BMW to a posh hotel, having their weddings there, and they give it back to you with a good amount of money. So that will add to your earning, and you can pay away your loans with that. Wouldn't that be a good and a creative idea? Yes, it would be. Sam could promote his business online on online platforms and maybe collaborate with collaboration would be useful. Very good. Megha, with that word collaboration, I thought that if he could keep his family business also alive along with the new business. Now I know that can be a crunch of money, but here what he can do is maybe part of his business, the old business, can be sold, or the shares can be taken out and or sold, and then he can manage the new business. So both the things can go hand in hand. Or if the new business that he's looking into is similar to what the family business they were into, he can just add to the portfolio. That can be another creative thought. Good, good, very good. And I'm happy that everybody is alive and rocking and giving me all those feedbacks. Thank you so much. So now, this was the green hat, the creative hat. Very important that we wear this and we come up with our ideas. Edward de Bono uses the word provocation here, and he says that when we talk about creativity, we usually logically think on things that are and give reasons of whether this would work or this won't work. But wearing this hat, we can be provocative. Provocative means coming up with an idea which you've not calculated much, but after giving the idea, then you can think upon it. A good example can be, some 1,000 years back, somebody would have said, I want to fly. A few, decades back, somebody would have said that, can there be a machine which could calculate things for me? And then inventions happened. Some centuries back, people might have said that I want to talk to somebody who's in another town. Can there be some facility? And then you start working on it. So these are the provocative thoughts which we can include in the green hat. Okay, is there a chat over here? Sam can go on Shark Tank platform and increase his fame. Harish, yes, of course he can put up his idea, but in the condition that it is very innovative. Okay, so we are going to take off the green hat and we are going to move on to the next hat, and that is the blue hat. This is the last hat. It is the reflective hat. It is also called the conductor's hat. The purpose of this hat, or the duty of this hat, is to look over all the other hats and see to it that all the hats are doing their task to the optimum level. Like the yellow has pulled out all the positives, the black has pulled out all the logical negatives, the white has taken out all the relevant information, okay, and the green has worked maximum in its creativity. So this is the hat that regulates all the other hats and keep telling them to do their task. This is the hat which at the end, when we get all the data, it helps in calculating or finding out what can be a good decision based on all these thoughts that we have had wearing these various hats. So in the case of all these hats, there is only this blue hat which has to be there at the end, because it is going to regulate all the other hats. Except this, all the other 5 hats can be worn at any point of time. The order can change. But Edward de Bono says that it is always a good idea to think about the positives before you go to the negatives. So it is good if you wear the yellow hat first and the black one later on, but then there is no hard and fast order for these hats. So we have seen all these hats, the red, the white, the yellow, the black, the green, and the blue. And I would now open the forum to all of you once again to tell me, what does the red hat stand for? What does the red hat stand for? What do you think about when you're wearing the red hat?
Without any logic, thinking about what we feel good about it.
Okay, it is more of feelings and emotions. Very good. So it is an intuitive hat. It works on your hunches. It doesn't work on a lot of logics. You don't have to put in a lot of thoughts here. So it is intuition. It works on hunches, right? Now the white hat. We have taken off the red and we are wearing the white. What does the white talk about?
The factual information.
Related information.
Correct. The white hat talks about facts and information, facts and just the facts, the pure facts. And you have to do this very objectively. No involvement of emotions in this, right? So while wearing the white hat, you are looking into the facts and pure facts. Next would be the yellow hat. And that is, oh, I'm so sorry. I have disclosed it. I'm extremely sorry. That's the sunshine hat, the positive hat. So where you will be pulling out all the positives of doing that task and why it will be useful. So while wearing the yellow hat, you're only thinking about the positives. Moving on to the black one. Yes, who's going to answer?
Judgmental fact.
The risk assessment.
Judgmental hat.
It is the judgmental hat. It assesses the risks. Very good. And it is the devil's advocate. So it is the logical negative. And here we talk about things, why it won't work, why this idea won't work, why it is very risky, why it may lead to failures. Okay, so we will be taking down all those points while we are wearing the black hat. And what about the green one? What does the green one say? It is creative. Very, very good. It is creative. Yes, Collins, creative. So you have to explore the possibilities. You have to think upon the new ideas. It is provocative also. You can just come up with a very new idea and then start thinking about it, whether this can fit in your scheme of things. And then the last one, the blue hat. What does the blue hat do? What does the blue hat do?
The controlling one.
Yes, it controls all the other hats. It sees to it that everyone is doing their job properly. They have done it to the optimum level it should be. No irrelevant data has been included or none of the useful data has been left. So it regulates all the other hats. And these are the 6 hats and the formula of 6 thinking hats given by Edward de Bono. This formula has been used by corporate houses, big corporate houses and organizations like NASA, IBM, Siemens, Microsoft, to list a few. There are many, many more. Even once Edward de Bono says that a teacher from New Zealand contacted him saying that we have introduced this formula to the 5-year-old kids in our school, to the 5-year-olds. So look, this formula is good for even kids of that age too. We don't have a limit, like we have professionals or students or we are in a family. Everywhere this can be applicable. And all over the world, corporate houses are using it. Institutes are teaching this formula to see to it that when you become good, when you become managers, you are able to take good and calculated decisions. You are able to take better decisions. Throughout the session, you must have seen that I have not used the word right. Whereas right at the start, many of you said right things. And I haven't used the word right throughout the session, that we have to take right decisions, because I read it somewhere and I really, I was very much impressed by this, that you do not take right decisions because you take decisions for the future and you have not seen the future. So right means this will work, but you do not take right decisions. You take good calculated decisions and you make them right in the future by working on them. So merely by you using these hats, you cannot say, okay, now the decision is right, we have to just sit back and enjoy. No, you don't have to do that, because by using these hats, you've ensured that you have taken a good calculated decision. You have done in-depth thinking, you have done critical thinking on that topic. And now you take a decision and then you work upon it to make it right. Correct? Agreed, everyone? Do you agree with that? So the saying goes, yes, the saying goes, I believe in, I don't believe in taking right decisions. I believe in taking decisions and making them right. So you have to work on that, on those decisions to see to it that they become right. But with this formula of Edward de Bono, what he has basically done is he has given us an opportunity to think parallelly. So now in these organizations or big corporate houses, what they do is when they have a board meeting and they're sitting, each one of them wear different hats and they start thinking according to that hat and noting down the points for a decision that they have to make. So what they are doing is there is a parallel thinking that is going. There is no argument. There is no argument on a topic. They are wearing a hat and they're thinking about that, how it is going to work, how it won't work, what are the facts that I need from this or information that I have to collect, and the goods and the bads and everything, and the hunches. So this makes the process very, very easy. If I'm not mistaken, the manager of Siemens called up Edward de Bono and he said that earlier I used to have meetings, board meetings for hours and hours together to come up to a decision. But now after using this formula, I've reduced the time to 1/4 of the time that I used to take earlier. In 1/4 of the time, we are able to assess the situation and come up to a decision. Isn't that wonderful? And if these big corporate houses and successful people can do it, why can't we? We all want to be successful in life. And at times we are skeptical about the decisions that we are going to take for our future. So this formula will surely help us. This technique will add depth to the thinking and planning process, and of course ensure all possibilities are explored, as it is a good critical thinking tool. Here we come to the end of the 6 thinking hats of decision making, of critical thinking that we had to take up today, a skill which will be very, very helpful for all of us in our future. And such skill development programs will continue with Mahdi Bagh Youth Club. But before I say goodbye to all of you or end the session, I have a video for all of you. I just want to see whether we have time enough to play this. Do you have 5 minutes more? Because I want you all to go away with this wonderful thought by another great man. Should I play the video? Do you have time enough? 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we go.
If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. We had already done the Fantastic Four and I think maybe the X-Men, I can't remember the order, but my publisher came to me and he said, Stan, I want you to come up with another superhero. So I said, okay, and I went home, and when my publisher said do something, I'd better do it because I wanted to keep my job. I thought, what can I come up with now? And the most important thing in a superhero at first is the superpower. Once you get that, everything else comes along. So I thought, what power will I give a new guy? And I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I said, hey, if I could get a superhero that could stick to walls and crawl on them, man, that would be cool. So I thought that was good. Now I needed a name. So I thought, well, let's see, Fly Man, Mosquito Man. I got down to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. It just sounded dramatic. So, okay, I had my hero, I had his power, his name, and then I figured just for fun, I'm going to give him personal problems. Because except for you people who are that your lives are perfect, but most other people have personal problems. And then I thought I'd make him a teenager, because there were no teenage superheroes that I knew of at the time. So armed with all that wonderful material, those great ideas, I ran into my publisher's office and I told him. This was my reaction, the reaction he gave me. Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. First of all, and he started to give me his, because he's a very logical man, very intellectual. First of all, people hate spiders, so you can't call a hero Spider-Man. You want him to be a teenager? Teenagers can only be sidekicks. And you want him to have personal problems? Stan, don't you know what a superhero is? They don't have personal problems. Well, I left the office disappointed, but obviously a much wiser man. And I couldn't get Spider-Man out of my system. So we were about to kill a magazine. I think it was called Amazing Fantasy. It wasn't selling well, and we were sending the last issue to press. When you do the last issue of a magazine, nobody cares what you put in it because the book is dying. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy, featured him on the cover, forgot about it. A month later, all the sales figures came in. My publisher came racing into my office. Stan, you remember that character we both loved so much, Spider-Man? He said, let's do him as a series. Now, why am I telling you this? Besides the fact that I have to kill a little time. If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Now, that doesn't mean that every wild notion you come up with is going to be genius, but if there is something that you feel is good, something you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done. Just do your thing, do it as well as you, that's the important thing. Don't shirk. Whatever you do, give it your best shot. You'll be glad you did. Exactly.
Well, that was Stanley Marvel, a man who created so many superheroes, and what a wonderful and inspirational video by him, that if you have an idea, don't give it up. But before materializing it, we have many thoughts, so we can just apply the technique we have seen today and calculate whether it would work or not. Well, with that, thank you so much, all of you, for joining in and making this workshop much more interesting and exciting. Thank you. And I hope it gave you quite a few takeaways which you can use in your life and make better decisions.
I would like to offer my vote of thanks to Arifa ma'am for sharing with us a super formula for making decisions for future. The conclusion which ma'am made was cherry on the cake. Once again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shanur. And this has been a great opportunity for me to have this platform to interact with all of you. And at the end, I would like to tell you all once again that in the Mahdi Bagh Youth Club's skill development program, we will be having many more such sessions. And I will be very happy if you can join in and take advantage of these skill development sessions. Thank you so much. Wish you all a very, very good evening. Take care, all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be waiting for such more beautiful sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Collins, for joining in.
You're welcome.